Hello, you beautiful bastards, and welcome to my so-called show. After Sean Connery's falling out with Saltzman and Broccoli, Connery finally got his way and was done with the role of 007.
You can suck it! You can suck it! You can suck it! You can all suck it! Live long and suck it!
Until next time, and the time after that. But it caused the producers the hassle of looking for a new James Bond. Even Timothy Dalton was offered the role, but turned it down feeling he was too young. Roger Moore was also offered, but commitments to the Saint prevented him from donning the tuxedo. Oliver Reed was considered, then not considered, for reasons not so obvious.
Drink! Drink! Drink!
But after spotting an Australian model named George Lazenby from a chocolate commercial, Broccoli and Peter Hunt snapped him up for the role.
Logical.
But could good old Georgie boy fill the shoes that Connery left behind? Well, slutty ladies and not so gentlemen, this is On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Released in December 1969, On Her Majesty's 69. On Her Majesty's Secret Service sees James Bond, played by George Lazenby, team up with crime lord Draco, played by Gabriel Fazzetti, who can help Bond locate Blofeld, played by Telly, who loves your baby Savalis, who plans to hold the world ransom with the aid of his mysterious Angels of Death.
Nice.
But has Bond fallen for Draco's strong-willed daughter Tracy, played by the late Diana Rigg, and can Lazenby hide his lack of acting skills, Australian accent, and arrogance well enough to stay on for a few more movies? The film had everything going against it. An unexperienced actor that looked the part but didn't have the charisma of Connery, as well as... No, actually that's it, but George Lazenby obviously knew he had no idea what he was doing, but I do actually give him credit for taking the opportunity despite being in over his head. And fair play, the dude handles the fight scenes like an absolute ruthless bastard. Trouble is, whenever he tries to be charming or witty, he just comes across more wooden than a wood carving of Steven Seagal, Megan Fox, and Ginger Space Jesus from Willow.
Forgive me. My mind was elsewhere. Madame had forgotten we agreed to be partners this evening. Please continue.
The fact he was dubbed for a good chunk of his screen time didn't help either.
I'll be glad to get my feet on the ground. Just a slight stiffness coming on, but
I don't think he's the worst, at least in terms of acting, as he does have his moments like when he bears his soul to Tracy after she rescues him from Blofeld's men.
I love you. I know I'll never find another girl like you. Will you marry me?
In fact, he's at his best when he's with Diana Rigg, and they do have some good chemistry, but sadly his ego was writing checks his employers and body couldn't cash, as he got really full of himself, even to a point he apparently declined to do another Bond on the advice of his agent, who told him Bond was irrelevant, especially in a time when hippies with long hair was a thing. And it's a shame, as with some mentoring he probably would have gotten better in the role if he decided to do more movies. But he is honest about his time as James Bond, and I do admire how self-aware he was about his flaws. So in short, he's not the worst, he just lacks the quality of the other actors. But thankfully, everything else is actually great. The story is great, the action is great, the music is great, the supporting cast are great. This was the first Bond movie to take chances, bringing some moments people hadn't seen in a Bond movie before. And it was crazy to see Bond actually humanised and even fall in love with someone. Diana Rigg is great as the troubled Tracy. She's suicidal, strong-willed, but the more she spends time with Bond, she becomes more optimistic and likeable, even showing there's some hope to her. And not only that, her fight scene with one of Blofeld's men is a good example of a woman taking on a man who outweighs her, while still prevailing convincingly.
That's gotta hurt.
She's one of my favourite Bond girls, and yeah, her death is really fucking heartbreaking. Man, that takes balls. Ending Bond on such a tragic note, and George Lazenby really sells the emotion here.
It's quite all right, really. She's having a rest. Going on soon. There's no hurry, you see. We have all the time in the world.
It's such a shame the revenge plot was wasted. Twice. The action is fast, intense, and the guerrilla-style shooting really makes the adrenaline of the ski chases feel real, as well as cranking up that feeling of tension, with Blofeld's men closing in on Bond, who's outmanned and outmatched. Ilse Steppat is also very creepy as Blofeld's assistant Irma Blunt, and just like Lotte Lenya as Rosa Klebb, you can tell she's having fun playing this horrible old bat. Unfortunately, Steppat died of a heart attack 4 days after the movie was released. She was only 52. And I can't ignore Gabriel Fazzetti as Mac Ange Draco. The dude just exudes charm and class. He's a dodgy fucker, but just like Karen Bay, he's just so charming, you want to hang out with him. If I had one complaint, the late Telly Savalas' Blofeld comes across more like a gangster, unlike Donald Pleasance's creepy, emotionless psychopath. But his plot to brainwash unassuming girls to spreading biological warfare is really sinister. It's well directed, intense, mysterious, and surprisingly emotional, with some good chemistry between Lazenby and Rigg. Louis Armstrong complementing the romantic scenes and some well choreographed fight scenes. On Her Majesty's Secret Service is one of the best Bonds, and also a reminder that we have all the time in the world. And that was on Her Majesty's Secret Service. Next up, Diamonds Are Forever.